The Melody of Madness. The old town of Ravensbrook was known for its eerie atmosphere and ghostly legends. Nestled deep within the misty woods, it had a reputation for chilling tales that echoed through generations. Among these legends, one story stood out, a haunting melody that would forever change the lives of those who heard it. Amelia, a young musician, was drawn to Ravensbrook by whispers of a mysterious song that was said to possess a dark power. Fascinated by the supernatural, she couldn't resist the allure of the town's haunted history. Armed with her violin and an insatiable curiosity, Amelia arrived at Ravensbrook on a gloomy autumn evening. She settled into a small cottage near the heart of town and spent her days exploring the winding streets, searching for clues about the legendary melody. Locals spoke of an abandoned music hall where the song was rumored to originate, a place long forgotten and shrouded in an air of unease. As night fell, Amelia ventured toward the derelict music hall. The moon cast an eerie glow on the dilapidated structure, sending shivers down her spine. With each step, the haunting melody grew louder, calling to her like a ghostly beckoning. The rusty door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit interior that seemed frozen in time. Inside, Amelia's senses were overwhelmed. The air was heavy with the scent of decay, and the walls seemed to whisper secrets of the past. She cautiously approached the grand stage, her violin clutched tightly in her trembling hands. A single beam of moonlight illuminated an ancient sheet of music lying on the piano. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Amelia picked up the faded sheet and placed it on the stand, as her bow touched the strings. A haunting melody filled the hall, a melancholic tune that echoed through the chambers of her soul. The sound was beautiful yet unsettling, as if it carried the weight of forgotten tragedies. Unbeknownst to Amelia, the music hall had a dark secret. The song she played had once driven its composer to madness, leading him to commit unspeakable acts. Legend had it that anyone who dared to play the melody would fall victim to the same fate. Amelia had unwittingly unleashed a malevolent force that would soon consume her. Days turned into nights, and Amelia became consumed by the cursed melody. Its enchanting notes rang in her ears, haunting her dreams and invading her every waking moment. Sleep eluded her as the music began to warp her perception of reality. Amelia's once joyful demeanor transformed into a shadow of its former self. Her once vibrant eyes grew hollow, and her once nimble fingers trembled as they danced across the strings. She became a mere vessel for the sinister symphony, losing herself in its intoxicating grip. Locals whispered about the strange occurrences in Ravensbrook. Dark shadows prowled the streets at night, and a sense of dread permeated the once peaceful town. Some claimed to have glimpsed a figure, half human, half phantom, wandering the outskirts, its mournful cries blending with the cursed melody. Amelia's neighbors grew concerned, unable to ignore the visible deterioration of her well-being. Determined to save her, they sought the help of a reclusive music expert, Professor Jonathan Blackwood. With his unrivaled knowledge of the supernatural, they hoped he could break the curse that consumed Amelia's life. Professor Blackwood delved into ancient texts, uncovering forgotten rituals and incantations to combat the malevolent melody. He discovered that the key to breaking the curse lay in an ancient artifact, the Bell of Silence, said to have the power to silence the most haunting of songs. Amelia, now a mere shell of her former self, was brought before Professor Blackwood. With trembling hands, he performed a ritual, invoking the ancient powers of the Bell of Silence. The atmosphere grew heavy as the professor struck the bell, releasing a deafening silence that shattered the cursed melody's hold. As the final notes of the cursed song faded away, Amelia collapsed to the ground, her mind finally free from the clutches of madness. The weight of the curse lifted, and the town of Ravensbrook breathed a collective sigh of relief. Though haunted by the memories of the melody, Amelia emerged stronger, vowing to warn others about the power of music's dark side. As for the abandoned music hall, it stood as a solemn reminder of the price paid by those who dared to play with the supernatural forces of song. Whispers in the shadows. In the quiet town of Ashbourne, a place nestled among the ancient hills and dense forests, an old vinyl record had surfaced. It arrived at the doorstep of an unsuspecting antique shop, wrapped in a tattered cloth, and adorned with cryptic symbols etched into its surface. The record exuded an aura of unease, and its arrival sent whispers through the town. Catherine, a young music enthusiast with a penchant for all things mysterious, stumbled upon the record during one of her regular visits to the antique shop. Drawn to its enigmatic presence, she couldn't resist taking it home. Little did she know that this seemingly innocuous act would plunge her into a world of darkness and despair. That night, as Catherine placed the record on her vintage turntable, an eerie stillness settled upon her surroundings. The needle touched the grooves, and a haunting melody emerged from the speakers, filling the room with an otherworldly presence. The ethereal tune possessed an inexplicable power that sent chills down her spine. As the song played, the room grew colder, and shadows danced along the walls. Whispers, barely audible, seeped from the corners, carrying a sense of anguish and desperation. Catherine's heart raced, and an overwhelming sense of foreboding washed over her. It was as if the record held a malevolent secret, an invitation to the darkest recesses of her soul. Days turned into nights, and Catherine found herself plagued by the haunting melody. Its spectral echoes followed her everywhere, haunting her dreams and distorting her reality. Sleep became a distant luxury, replaced by the torment of the never-ending song. The once vibrant young woman now withered under the weight of an unseen presence. Seeking answers and desperate for respite, Catherine immersed herself in the town's history. She uncovered tales of a forgotten composer, Vincent Hartmann, who had disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Legend had it that his last composition, trapped within the very record she possessed, held a cursed power, capable of ensnaring the souls of those who dared listen. With newfound determination, Catherine embarked on a journey to unravel the truth behind Vincent Hartmann's fate. Her research led her to the decaying Hartmann Manor, a dilapidated estate veiled in shadows. With trepidation, she entered its forsaken halls, guided by the echoes of the haunting melody that emanated from within. As Catherine ventured deeper into the manor's depths, she discovered a hidden chamber, a sanctuary dedicated to the dark arts. It was there, amidst twisted symbols and forgotten manuscripts, that she found Vincent Hartmann's diary, a testament to his descent into madness. His words spoke of a sinister pact made in exchange for musical genius, an accord that ultimately consumed his sanity and trapped his spirit within the record. Armed with this revelation, Catherine knew she had to find a way to break the curse that ensnared her and release Vincent Hartmann's tormented soul. She sought the guidance of an aged musicologist, Professor Elijah Sinclair, renowned for his expertise in the occult. Together, Catherine and Professor Sinclair delved into ancient rituals and incantations, determined to free themselves from the clutches of the cursed record. Their journey took them through arcane libraries and hidden realms, piecing together the fragments of forgotten lore. The night of the final ritual arrived, a moonless evening steeped in apprehension. Catherine and Professor Sinclair stood before a dimly lit chamber, armed with their newfound knowledge and a steadfast resolve. They prepared to perform the ritual that would sever the ties between the cursed record and its tormented composer. The air crackled with anticipation as they chanted ancient incantations, their voices harmonizing with the eerie melody that surrounded them. The very fabric of reality seemed to tremble as their words reverberated through the chamber. A surge of energy coursed through Catherine's veins as the ritual reached its crescendo. The record, suspended in midair, shattered into countless shards, releasing a powerful gust that blew through the room. The haunting melody dissipated, carried away on the winds of freedom. In the aftermath, Catherine and Professor Sinclair found themselves standing in a silence that held both relief and sadness. Vincent Hartmann's spirit had been released, but the echoes of his suffering lingered. As the last remnants of the cursed record faded, Catherine vowed to honor Hartmann's legacy by sharing his story and warning others of the perils that lay hidden within the seductive strains of music. Ashbourne would forever bear the marks of this harrowing journey. But amidst the lingering shadows, a glimmer of hope emerged, a reminder that even in the depths of darkness, the power of resilience and the unyielding spirit of music could prevail.